200 years ago, my grandfather was head of the Morris a century ago. His grandfather, Thomas Wells, was head of the Morris 100 years before that. Well, he was always called Jingle Wells, always. His name was Thomas Wells, but he was called Jingle. Well, none of his sons never had the nickname, not to stick to him, till he come to my grampy. And till he called him Jingle Wells, he got to Jingy. Jingy. See, Jingy. He used to be a tower man years ago for growing green peas. He was an expert at growing peas, green peas. And I used to call him Jingy the green peas years ago. Well then, of course, when you come to my uncles, I never had their name. See? Not to come to me. And then, of course, I had their name. But I was always called Jingy. I was born, me and Jack, my brother Jack, was only two of us, Jack and me. I was born down there in an old cottage, just down there in the wheel. I went to school where the post office is now. Where the Bampton post office is today, that was our school. But that was a private school. I went to the national school, me and Jack, for about 2 years. And then my mother had us put to this other special school. Of course, thinking we should learn a bit extra, I suppose. But I don't know whether we done much good over it. My first job when I was 14, I was a butcher tailor's butcher boy. And then I went from the butcher boy up to the Bampton Manor, to Mrs. Bullen's, under gardener and house lad. See? I went up to London from there for a bit. I had 2 jobs in London. And then I come back the beginning of my Jubilee year, 87. That was Jubilee year was 87, wasn't it? Well, I come back at the beginning of May, and I'd got nobody to go full for him that year, and they begged me to go round that year full for him. That was the years I started. Oh, I've been working on all sorts of work, everything. I've been fagging, mowing, worked on the farms, threshing, all sorts of work. I've walked 6 miles of work, on 6 miles back at night, for 2 bob. 2 bob a day. My grandfather was head of the Morris, and I got 3 uncles. Yes, 3. Uncle Harry on that picture there, and Uncle George, and Uncle Alf. Uncle Alf was supposed to be the best dancer that ever danced in the Morris. Heels and toes, he was a good dancer. And there was only one man that ever beat him, and that was Billy Wells, this man. And he didn't like it, poor old chap. But of course, the judges give me best, you see, and he had to put up with it. My grandmother used, an old deaf and dumb lady. I was deaf and dumb, but her eyesight was good. I was a wonderful, clever woman with her needle, and I used to make a lot of these, old smock frocks, the white smock frocks. I used to make a lot of them things. But my cousin, and my cousin was a dressmaker, and my granny, they made my first dresses I had when I was 4 from the Morris. And on the stuff the dress was made with was all the Queen's Jubilee heads, all over the print, the stuff. But of course I used to wear, when I was 4 white trousers, only my trousers was cut off just below the knee, you see. I hadn't got long trousers, because I used to wear 2 odd stockings, you know. 2 odd stockings. A blue one generally, and a red one. Generally a red one and a blue one. An old gentleman, when we was down the wheel, you know, he was in the club years ago, I always remember. He was one of the tanners. I was just dressing that Monday morning. When he come out, he'd had a wash and a shave and was going up to the pub, I expect. And I got me foot up on the rail, cleaning me boot a bit. And I got these odd stockings on. I was half dressed then. So the old man come out, ha ha ha, he just looked pretty. Oh, he looked down, he said, hey, damn lipty, yes, I got 2 odd stockings on. See? I says, no fear. I said, he can't see striped, he was colourblind. Ha, can he? 'Tis these can't see. So I pretended to look down and see him. I said, beg me if I don't think he was right, Enoch. Enoch Tanner, his name was. He went up to the pub and told him. Wouldn't have known if I hadn't have told him, I said. It takes a good man to make a fool. There's 3 kinds of fools. There's the natural fool and the unnatural fool. And there's a man that's paid, like in a circus anywhere else, to play the fool. The fool, a merry man is he, with ever ready wit, with his elastic limbs as nimble every bit. In comic hat and gossoon dress, and a horse's bladder strung to a short stout staff tied on with a leather thong. Bells on his shoulders, bells round his knees. They said he was a perfect fool, one and all agrees. His carrying out he passes through, in and out the crowd. On every penny he does get, I'm sure he's mighty proud. If he tires them with his chatter-patter, the money helps the box to fill, so what matter? All the children laugh and clap at his tricks as acrobat. But if they don't precaution take, they taste his blood or not the cake. Our dancers 6, all well-trained men must be, picked from the village best you see. With legs as straight as a poplar tree, they clap all together and bend the knee. In well-trimmed bowler hats, ribbons broad and bright, white pocket handkerchiefs, all dressed in white. Our fiddler, too, let me tell you, the old tunes he knows quite well, and plays them on his old fiddle without itch. Our oldest son we call the squire. His duty 'tis to do, to carry the money box, the cake and sword that cuts the cake in 2. Our ragman too, I will admit, his duty 'tis an order. He's got to please the jolly lot and help them in the bargain. You see, the sword got to go right up through the tin and through the cake, don't you see? You carry the cake on the out of the sword, like that. There's a slot, you see, in the bottom of the tin, and the sword goes right through. So of course the sword do cut the cake in two. La diddly doodle dum dum diddly da diddly doo diddly doodly dum dum dum. La diddly doodle dum diddly dum diddly dum diddly doodle dum dum. La diddly dum dum diddly da diddly dum diddly doodle dum dum dum. La diddly doodle dum la diddly dum diddly da diddly doodle dum. La diddly dum dum diddly doodle da diddly doo diddly dum. Lum diddly doodle dum, la diddly dum, diddly da diddly doodle dum dum. The Island Mary. When I first started in the Morris, they hadn't got no more half the dances as I had when I finished. Because I found a lot of dances. I'm talking about Leafield. Leafield. Field Town, I always called it. But the name of the village is Leafield. And these young gentlemen used to come down from these big estates. They was agents and different things up there, you know. And they was wonderful dancers. And I used to play for them. Well, there was an old gentleman there then, of course, I'd be talking about 50 years ago, mind. He was alive and well then. He was a fiddler. And I had 3 or 4 dances off of this old fiddler, you know, when I was up there. And that was one of them, what I had. The Forester. La diddly dum diddly dum 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 diddly da dum diddly dum 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 diddly da dum dum diddly doodle doodle dum diddly da doodle diddle doodle dum dum dum. It's side step and put up, 6-handed dance. La doodle doodle dum diddly da doodle dum diddly da doodle diddle dum diddly da dum diddly doodle da diddle doodle diddle doodle dum diddly da doodle diddle doodle diddle dum. That's the first part. And then they put the side step part. La doodle diddle doodle diddle dum 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 diddly da doodle diddle doodle dum dum diddly da dum dum diddly doodle diddle dum diddle 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 dum dum dum. They call that the forestry keeper's jig. Old Tom of Oxford, he was a forester. He was born up in the foresters. Well, his oldest sister, of course I just say, was perhaps 12 or 14 years older than him. Well, her son, her oldest son, he took to this lad, see, And there was caravan dwellers. They lived and dwelt in a caravan. And they were hawkers. They used to hawk all sorts of things, mats and brushes and brooms and dozens and dozens of things. Well, I went about with this caravan. Well, he picked up with a girl in Oxford. You've heard what they've said, what they call the tune. They call the tune All Molly Oxford, you know. All Molly Oxford, see? Well, as the song went, All Tom of Oxford and young Jim Kent, that was his nephew, they married our Moll and off they went. And she lived in the caravan with them. And while I was out doing their hawking, I suppose she used to look after the caravan and do the cooking and all that sort of thing. And I've heard it said they lived in the caravan, the three, the two men and the one woman. Of course, I slept in the caravan, you know, so I know what a caravan is. There's a bed up here, see, and another one down here, each side. That's far to sleep in. Well, it did say they lived together for years. And they never quarreled. Now, they never had no disagreement, and they never fell out. The two men with the one woman. Bibbidi Bob, Bibbidi Bob means tug of war. Bibbidi Bob, like the too many agitators and dictators. All this world seems awfully wrong, and it terribly puzzles the Quakers. Of course, you know the old adage, lumps of plum pudding and pieces of pie, my mother she gave me for telling a lie. Some says the devil's dead, some says the devil's dead, some says the devil's dead and buried in cold harbour. Some says he rose again, some says he rose again, some says he rose again and apprenticed to a barber. Ah, diddle-doo-dum, diddly-da-da-doo-dum, doodle-da-da-dee-dum, doodle-da-da-dum-dum, ah, diddly-doo-dum, ah, dum-doo-dum, dee-doodle-da-da-dum, doo-dum, then comes the toes and the eels. La-da-da-da-doodle-dum, doodle-da-da-doodle-dum, diddly-da-da-doodle-dum, diddle-da-da-dum, diddly-da-da-doodle-dum, diddly-da-da-dee-da-dum, diddly-da-da-doodle-dum, diddly-da-da-dum-dum. June, I've done the pipe dance with a fiddle in my hand, play my own tune, and I've never touched a pipe. I've been in and out, eels and toes, in and out them pipes, with a fiddle in my hand, play my own tune. I had 10 shillings for doing that once, and that was at Buckland. There used to be dances out here, you know, Langford, Pilkins, all out that way. And that's where I had the dance from, the Webley. And what made me call it the Webley was, I had it from a man by the name of Webb. Webb, the man's name was that I had the dance from. But it was really more of an old-fashioned big form dance than anything else, but it was a good tune, just right for Morris dancing. But it was where there was 4 verses, but of course I never know the song properly. I always reckoned, you know, that was one of our best dances. And yet up at Cecil Sharp House they didn't think much of it. La dee dum da dum dee dum dee dum da dum dee dum dum. La dum doo doo dee doo dum doo dum da dum doo dum dee dum doo dum da dum. Then there was the power jump. Constant Billy's the longest dance in the Morris. Six-handed dance. That's the longest dance in the Morris. Only they used to do it in three different ways. They used to jump in through. That's the proper old dance. Then they used to dance him half through and change hands and come back next time, you see, and change. That was too much trouble for them. They got from that to show him in. Well, you just step in, you see, and wave your arms to get in. Cross corners. Lump doodle dum da dum dum doodle dum da dum doodle dum. Lump dum doodle dum doodle da dum doodle dum doodle dum. Then comes jump, you see. When the fishes flies over the waters, then turn. Then shall I see Billy again. That's forward jumps. That's a long jump, and a long jump, and turn. Well, it's like a twizzle, you know, you turn around quick. Then jump in through again. La-da-dum-dum-dum, la-da-dum-dum. When the fishes flies over the water, then shall I see Billy again. Constant Billy, my Billy boy, when shall I see Billy again? The might of the mill, the might of the mill, the might of the mill for me. She's straight and tall as a poplar tree, and her eyes are as bright as the diamonds. She's the sweetest gal that ever you see, when she's dressed in her best Sunday clothes. The maid of the mill. The nutting girl. Johnny's along at the fair. The girl I left behind me. That sidestep and put up dance. Yes, there's Banbury Bill. Banbury Bill. That's another one. Then there's the Webley. Six-handed dance, only cross corner dance. Quaker, yes. The Quaker. Bonnie Green Garters. Green sleeves and some of those. First for the stockings and then for the shoes and then for the bonny green garters. All Tom of Oxford. Lumps of plum pudding. Princess Royal, that's a good dance, that is. Princess Royal. La-dee-dum, doodle-dum. See? Well, Open Cambridge, you see, was slow. La-da-doo, doodle-dum. Well, that's slow, isn't it? Well, they never made no open capers, what they call open capers, you see. There was half capers. La-da-doo, diddly-dum, diddly-da, diddly-dum, diddly-doo, diddly-dum. But how different that sounds, doesn't it? My sisters, I'm going to Abingdon Fair. Bonny green garters, I'm buying you each a pair. A pair for Mary and a pair for Sue. A pair for Molly and a pair for Lou. And a pair for the gal that I'm after. Bobbing around. I was the only man that ever went through the Morris. Pool, fiddler, dancer, and trainer. I was the only man in Wales or Bampton that ever played, danced, and performed in front of two princesses. I'm the only man in the world of Bampton that have had the three generations a dancing in the same set, all together. There was three fathers and three sons dancing and playing. I was playing, of course. That was me, Frank and Bob. That was three fathers. Well, Frank was a son, Bob was a son, and Ken was a son. We was only four of us, of course. I've played the Morris tunes on 6 different musical instruments. That's more than another man have ever done in Bampton or Weald. I played when I was a boy at 12. I played the Morris tunes on a penny tin whistle, and you could get a good whistle too for a penny in the olden days when I was a child. Then I played them on the mouth organ. I played them on the concertina. I played them on the melodeon, and I played them on the violin. And my cousin in London, he sent me a Swiss pipe. For the Morris dancing, you can't, and you'll never beat the fiddle. You'll never beat the fiddle on any instrument you like to mention. The fiddle will beat all the other instruments. That is for that kind of Morris dancing. To the doctor John did go for to see whether or no I could do anything for a woman that was dumb, dumb, dumb. They cut her clattering string and her clatter begun to ring, and it sounded in my ears like a drum, drum, drum. That's how the tune went. There's one song I made up myself. Being a gentleman's son and the only one, so I'd plenty of brass, don't you see? So to Ramsgate we sped in a first-class train, cutting the dash you may bet. So to the head of the restaurant and we went out to dine, doing the grande tea. For we had a little bit of turkey and a little bit of ham, a little bit of pie and some strawberry jam. We had a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of lean and a little bit of fat. She was a charming little girl with a pretty little hat. She was just the style for me. Of course, that's only one bit. That's only a bit of it. But that used to tickle them all on them when I sung that song. About a little bit of lean, a little bit of fat. See, that used to tickle them. The Flowers of Edinburgh. You know what a big tent is, don't you? With this big sheet over the top, a tent. You know what a big tent is? Like you'd see a tea tent or any tent at a fair or anything like that. Well, this tent was open at the front, you see. And of course it was got sheets on all around. Well, both sides of this tent, there was a seat, a long seat, this side and a long seat on that side. Well, then in the middle of the tent, you see, there was boards, the same as you'd see the floorboards on a floor. There was pieces put across, you see, at the underneath, and then these boards come on the top. And I was fixed, you see. Well, the girls and the boys, years gone by, they could have danced on the lawn, on the grass, but that didn't suit them. They couldn't hear their feet. But when you were dancing on these boards, and of course I was prum, you see, used to give, and of course it used to sound, see. That's the reason why I used to always dance in the booth, so that I could hear their feet and hear the stepping. And of course you could tell if the footwork was being done and all that then, of course you could. But you couldn't on the lawn, could you? Of course you couldn't. You paid nothing to go into the booth, but the man used to come round after he got the numbers they wanted. He used to go round and collect the money. When they got the dancers, the numbers they wanted, you see. Of course, the fiddle used to start. They was all ready for dancing, of course. And then, of course, when the dance was over, they had the next dance, you see, got to pay again. It was only tuppence, mind. They used to pay tuppence each. The dancers. Well, of course, the boys used to pay mostly, the men, folks. They used to pay for the girls then, or the women, folks, of course. I've seen some good dancing in the booth years ago. All them old-fashioned dancing now. Step and fetch and all in there. La do 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 da da do do dee do 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 dum. La do 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 da da do do da da do 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 dum. And old man used to bring that pretty little deer. He used to bring that on his fiddle and almost talk it. Pretty little deer, pretty little deer. Stepping Fetcher, and where they used to go under, you know, with handskips. Handskip dancing. They used to hold handskips up, you see. Well, say there was 8 couple. There was 8 couple. See, the first couple this way, they used to hold handskips up, you see. And these two, they used to go under. They'd all got their handskips hung over. They used to go under, you see, and do that dance in the middle, and under the necks and do the dance, under the necks and do the dance, up to the end. When they got to the end, you see, the next two, they used to come through. And the next two, they used to keep on, you see, till all the 8 are done. Then as soon as that part was over, you see, it was a swing dance. And then when the swing dance was over, they used to catch hold of hands in powers. There was 2 couple, they used to cross hands. They used to dance round, you see. They used to dance round up, then change hands and dance round back. They used to go over that twice. And then, of course, as soon as that was over, that part, they used to come back to onto the handskips again. There was 3 different parts in the dance. You've heard the other one, ain't you? Tommy, make room for your uncle. There's a little deer. Tommy, make room for your uncle. You know you want to sit here. You know your ma got a bun, and that she'll give to you. So be a good boy and don't deny. Make room for your uncle, do. They said every dog has his day, and I've had mine. I said that to a gentleman once years ago in a railway carriage. Every dog has his day. But I says the bitches have too. So he looked at me. I never heard that before, he said. What's the meaning of that? I said, well, the only meaning, I said, that I've ever found, as I could tell you, is this. I've known men die in their early 60s, and I've known their wives die at 94, 95, 96, and very near 100. I said, that was long enough to word another man out.
Oh, to tell you, lazy lot of bone shaker, the Quaker. Verily I, verily oh, liberty bomb like the shaker. All this world seems awfully wrong, and it terribly puzzles the Quaker. All together.